Show. This is the Big O 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 Show. This
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
If you're my If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Hialeah Park Casino is turning 10, and we're bringing you an anniversary bash like never before. See a million, win a million. Join us every Saturday in August, where 10 lucky customers will have a chance to take home $1 million. Snap a selfie with $1 million in cash, post it on social media, and get ready to win even more fantastic prizes. Come to Hialeah Park Casino's 10th anniversary celebration and make history with us. When you see a million, win a million.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Now we're kosher? No, not yet? Okay, now we should be good. Give us the thumbs up. Make sure we're good. By the way, Monday we're gonna switch over the live show to the new channel. So we'll give you all the heads up on that because we ran into a situation. So this will be one more day of doing it this way. But anyway, welcome aboard. We are here at the KSDT CPA offices in Dadeland, like we are usually once a month. Jeffrey Tarabolis, of course, kind enough to join us here on the program, have a little fun. You pumped up about Dolphin season?
I am. Don't know what to expect. I'm kind of like in that
We're going to be good, bro.
You're typical Dolphin fan where you're just like worried. You're not sure what you're going to see on the field, you know?
No, man. We're going to be good.
I hope, Big O. I really do.
No. Really, we're going to be good. I haven't really been very positive about the Dolphins over the last 20 years. I'm very positive about this whole Greer-led thing, and Mike McDaniel kind of put the icing on the cake for me last year. He's the kind of coach you need in today's game. I am convinced they're headed in the right direction, and I don't, what's wrong with you is what's wrong with a lot of Dolphins fans, that we've been through hell and we think like we can't have good things. It's unlike the Heat that we're so spoiled because we're constantly getting good things. You know what I'm saying? And that's only because you have people that try to make it happen. Look at Jorge Mas.
Yeah.
He screwed up a shit ton of times the first couple of years.
Yep.
Wrong GM, too many DPs. You can only have 3. You had 5. You're basically cheating. You made all kinds of really, like anybody that, by the way, buys a new business, starts a new business, we're still screwing up here, by the way, okay? And this is a new platform type of thing and all that. So it's normal, but you have to have that fire, that power to want to make things happen. And if you watch Chris Greer since he got here, since he took over, since it's his show, the trades, the movement, he doesn't stop. And you know what? I give Viola and Sifu a lot of credit with the Panthers. They don't stop. They keep going, and they're now finally getting those results. 7 years in, they've re-signed their guys. They found Kachuk now. They made the trade for the star, like Tyreek, like Jalen Ramsey, those kind of things. And so to me, that's what I see in the Dolphins. They finally have the movers and the shakers, the guys that are doing the things that you need. You have a coach that is innovative, that is willing to do different things, the things that you need in this league in order to win. So that's why I try to tell Dolphins fans like you, Jeffrey, leave the past, man. Forget it. I know you've been burned before, but that was false hope because Wanstead didn't have it. Jimmy didn't bring it, unfortunately. He only brought the defense. He didn't really ever figure out the offense. And Gase did it for 1 year and then couldn't follow it up. And, so Sperano, that first year, the Wildcat, and then really couldn't. I think this guy's different.
You know what it is? I don't know if it's the Latin influence here in Miami or, I'm passionate about everything I do. And I think the Miami fan is passionate about their teams. Yeah. So when you get burned a couple of times, it's so hard to get really jump on the bandwagon again because you just don't want to get hurt. We're so passionate about our teams. We just don't want to get hurt when things don't go the way they should. Man, if they can do it this year, I think the Dolphin fans will all come around and they'll jump on the bandwagon.
Look, with the Moss thing, I told people, look, bro, they screwed up a whole bunch of times. They're going to win. Like some guy, I had a discussion with a guy about a year ago or something. And he was like, oh, you think they'll win? I go, trust me, I've been around that dude. He's going to win. One way or another, he's going to find a way to win. So, because everything was kind of a disaster. And I go, don't worry about it. They'll figure it out. And I think when you have the right people in place, like Mickey Harrison, like Sifu and Viola, who's a stud, when you have people like that, I just think you're going to succeed. And I think right now the Dolphins, and I give Stephen Ross a lot of credit. He doesn't stay pat either. He does have a little patience, so that's good. He gives people an opportunity. He hasn't found the right people, but I think finally, you know what I mean? It looks like he found the right people, and he won't stop spending.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I give him credit. He improves the facilities, a new practice facility. That stadium is awesome to go to now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I really like the vibe of the Dolphins now. I think
Are
they
you
figured it
disappointed
out.
we didn't pick up the running back?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. I don't think they need him that badly like everybody thinks, that they need him. And I told everybody from the get-go that they were never going to offer him big money, and I was right on.
Was that huge money, you think? $8 million a year?
Yes, 8.6 is a lot of money for him right now. He's an injury-prone back, and he's not a bell cow. So if you're signing a guy that's going to be part of a rotation, you can't pay him nearly $9 million.
And do you think that hurts us? Like the Jets much more scarier to us now, you think, or no?
If our defense is good, then you should win. You shouldn't have a problem. See, the thing why I don't worry about the Jets is that Miami has a secondary.
Yeah.
And now they have a defensive coordinator. That's the other thing.
Now they're more of a double threat than they were before. That's what scares me.
Dude, we didn't have a healthy secondary last year.
Yeah.
So it killed the pass rush.
Yeah.
Now the pass rush is going to be way better because now X is healthy. Cater can play if you want. I love what I've seen from Cam Smith. Javon Holland's a stud. Eventually, you're going to get Jalen Ramsey back. Needham's going to get healthy. Trill's going to get healthy. So you're going to be even deeper than you were last year, at cornerback and in the secondary. And by the way, Elijah Campbell, the kid is doing a really nice job. It looks like he might be the guy next to Javon Holland right now. And then you can bring Brandon Jones along slowly. I just think this team has so much potential. I don't get clouded by some of the negativity that's out there. I really have a great vibe.
What do you know about the status of Ramsey right now? How's he coming along?
I can't give you anything on that. I don't have any insight on his injury rehab. When it comes to injuries and rehab, that kind of stuff is touchy in that building. Like in most buildings now, the HIPAA stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's very careful now because lawsuits can fly left and right. And if you say something wrong and something's reported and it just creates a bad situation. It could create a bad situation for a player because if you put out a false date or something like that, and then the player doesn't meet it, and then that report was never officially by them, it's just somebody that got something in the building from somebody that shouldn't have spoken. And so it's just when it comes to injuries, that's one thing I've learned when I try to reach out into that building. It's not a situation they really want to talk about. You know what I mean? So I'll be honest. When I got inside, I'll tell you, I think this is what's going on. And when it's not, I don't know. But, man, for him to walk around without crutches or a sleeve, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, it wasn't a torn ligament. You can come back from this year.
Good.
So at one point or another.
I want to see him on the field.
Oh, yeah. You'll see him on the field. You'll see him on the field.
I'm excited about tomorrow night's game with Inter Miami. That's going to be
exciting. Baby. Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. First chance for a trophy for the case. And I like this one because
that's a scary place to play though, Nashville.
Yeah.
They got a good crowd there.
They got an excellent crowd, but apparently our crowd now tours because have you seen there's pink in the stadium?
Yep.
Where every road game now you got pink because the Messi thing is just
taking it to the next level.
Yeah, man. The Messi thing is just it's the biggest star we've ever had.
Absolutely.
Since Pelé.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? None of our stars are bigger than Messi.
9 goals in 5 games, something like that, right?
Yeah. 6 games. Yeah.
6 games.
Yeah, 6 games. But we don't have a star like that in our country.
Yeah.
There's nobody like him. You know what I mean? He's one of a kind. What do you got, Sean? Mm-hmm.
And what happened is some of the home crowds
are
reselling their tickets.
Yeah, of course. A lot of money. Exactly. Yeah. But by the way, Sean, who told people all first half to buy season tickets for Inter Miami because Messi was coming? Okay, I don't know. I mean,
I listened. I bought tickets.
I'm just saying. I'm here to help you. What can I say? That's an investment. It's paying off. So that makes sense. And people are traveling from not South Florida. They're traveling from everywhere in the world to go to any of those matches in any of those stadiums. and they're paying hundreds of dollars for those tickets.
I
And
would love to see a report on the economic impact that these guys are bringing to South Florida, to be honest with you.
actually, all you have to do is listen to the KSDT CPA Sports Business
There you
Report
go.
because there are several of those Messi. In fact, we did one yesterday of a Messi impact on
There you
it.
go.
Yeah. So, day before. Oh, that was the day before. Yeah, yesterday was ESPN. Yeah, yesterday was Apple going to buy ESPN, which makes a ton of sense.
It's very interesting.
Well, because remember, they all want what's it called? Damn it, I'm losing that word. Content.
Yeah.
Because they're all getting into that part of the business, and so now they want content.
Yeah.
And sports has proven during pandemics and now an actor-writer strike that the only thing that continues through everything and anything is sports.
Absolutely.
Sports kept us going throughout the pandemic. It became the savior. And then all of a sudden, Netflix, Amazon, and Apple said, oh, wait a minute. If we're going to stay in this business for a long time, we better go out and get sports properties. And notice how all of them have been getting sports properties.
Their coverage of MLS has been great.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
I have no problem with it. Some people say, oh, well, they're going to limit. Hey, man, that's this world.
Yep.
You're going to want to watch certain NFL games. You're going to have to go on a platform to watch it. NBA, whatever. That's where we're headed, unfortunately. And by the way, it's super affordable.
Yeah.
It's a joke. They sold the second half of the season for half the price of half the season.
I thought it was like $40 recently or something.
Yeah. It was a joke.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch Messi and company, you get to watch.
Season ticket holders get it for free.
Yeah, see, that's right. That's right. Season ticket.
T-Mobile, season ticket holders. There you go.
Right. You guys get it for free. Exactly. So, either way, you get to watch Messi, the entire time. Yeah, his impact is just sick, dude.
It's crazy. What he's done to elevate, how all the players on that team just elevated themselves, their game. It's just amazing.
Yeah, well, we didn't have passing. We never saw people. We never had midfield play the first couple of years. They couldn't find people to set anybody up. And so now Busquets and Messi and Alba and all these guys, and then it's become infectious.
Yeah.
Because the young guys are making great passes too.
The play of Taylor, Kromansky, even Martinez, he's coming back from retirement. I'm joking around, but saying he's coming back from retirement because in my mind he was kind of retired on the field.
Yeah,
he's just playing amazing.
The knee looked good. Like he showed explosion for the first time. We had never seen that this past week, and that was really exciting. Yeah, dude. Crazy. That was fantastic. And the Ruiz kid that scored this week, another one of their young guys.
Yeah. Miami product, right?
Yeah. So all these young cats, and plus Drake Calendar's a
my
bad freaking ass dude.
You saw that game. He was amazing.
He's been amazing since last year. He's been their best of the young players. Kramashi and all these guys are coming around, but Calendar has been their best.
That one save that I think it was a header that he saved to the right. Amazing save. I mean, I was a former goalkeeper. I mean, like, wow.
Yeah. No, he's been awesome, dude. I mean, Marsman was like, what dude? I got pipped.
Yeah,
I got pipped, man. Come on, bro. Crazy. It's just it's pretty amazing. By the way, kudos to you. I thought of you last week.
Okay.
When the CPI went up slightly. Okay.
It's funny just talking to my clients. You can read what's coming in the market.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Miami's a little bit weird because Miami doesn't really represent all of the nation. I think we're better off.
Florida and Texas is better off than most.
It talking to my clients.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I saw the CPI bump and I go, damn, I didn't think there'd be any more hikes by the feds. And I still think there won't be a hike this one around. I think it's the next one where we get the hike. Because I think this last one is kind of like, oh, wait a minute now. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's going to say now this time around. Powell's going to say, oh, let's see what's going on here. And if it goes in that direction, we may have to make a hike. I think he may hold off on this one, then hit us on the next one. Like,
you know what? I want to bring in, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
My
Tim Thielen.
Tim Thielen is our director of our wealth management group here. I want to say that I took full credit for giving you all that information myself, but this is the guy that I talk to and gives me all my info. He's just amazing. The knowledge he has of the markets and everything that's going on, and I'm going to pass over the mic to him so he can tell you what he's seeing going on right now.
All right, Tim, tell me, buddy, because I'm getting ready for the halving event next year in April. So, although hearing from Powell and what's going on, I kind of think these ETFs are going to come right in that first quarter, right before the halving, and then there's going to be an explosion. So I was thinking that they'd start loosening up the rates next year, and then because we got an election year. You know what I'm saying? So you tell me, what do you think is happening?
Yeah, this year has been crazy with the messaging that has been verbalized by the Fed has not matched up necessarily with the policy of the federal government. Okay, so when Powell and the Fed might be out doing one thing, the Janet Yellen at the Treasury has been, because of an election year, in my opinion, has been propping things up. Something has changed over the last 3 to 4 weeks, however, and the liquidity that was there for the most part this year is not there right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly. I have not been able to fully diagnose.
And we're looking at what's going on with China now.
Yeah, so there might be some global geopolitics at play, some gaming and positioning going on by some of our friends and enemies that could be causing some of this current market disrupt. But that being noted, we were way overdue for something like this. Okay, for a few months now, it's been like coming and waiting, and like it hasn't been happening. And then people have been using excuses, AI or this or that, for the market to keep going up. But it was overdue. One thing that I do think has changed is the ratings agencies a few weeks ago kind of threw a wet blanket on things by downgrading our debt, and that at least woke somebody up. All right, because when rates closed, when the rates on the 10-year Treasury closed above 4% again, okay, like they did last year, that spooked a lot of people. That spooked a lot of big-time institutional money managers. The markets are run a lot by computers now, so when they throw those algorithms into effect, and one of the variables changes like that, that really that could have been the tripwire, for what we're seeing. So there's probably a digestion process going on right now where the markets are coming down, rates are going up. Nobody knows what's going on with inflation, really. We could suspect it. I agree with Jeff. Down here, we don't feel that. We don't feel that inflation's been coming down.
Texas and Florida are different monsters.
It's crazy, I don't think the Fed has control over inflation. I don't think that they can control what they're.
Well, they don't have enough tools to control it. That's the problem. They're so limited in the tools that they have, and the few tools that they have are incredibly abusive.
Yeah.
And because if you start continuing to raise the rates, small and mid-sized banks will disappear, which, by the way, eventually that's what they want. The top 5-6 banks are going to be left over. The government works with some of these banks as it is and all that. So I kind of figure that this is where we're headed. I don't know if people realize we're adding $5.2 billion a day to our deficit. $5.2 billion a day to our deficit. So, that's why I ask you, which way are we going? Because I know that we're struggling in one way, but I know there's manipulation in another, because we have an election year next year. And I know that they're going to try to manipulate the numbers in a way to get it to be positive next year and kind of feed the economy a little bit here.
It's the people in control are not dumb. I mean, they may be misguided in some policies, but the people in control are not dumb. They know what wins elections. So you win elections by making rich people richer. So you got to prop up the markets, and you win elections by getting a lot of the burgeoning vote. Okay, so whether it's new people to this country or whether it's younger people coming out of college, the more stimulus, quote unquote, handouts they give, the more votes they're going to get. So they're trying to do like a barbell strategy in terms of winning this election. I don't anticipate that necessarily changing. Okay.
No, neither do I.
Yeah. So they're probably going to.
They can puppeteer us that way, because most Americans don't follow this.
Right.
They don't really understand the kind of stuff that we're just talking about. Now, it's boring. Yeah. It's not stuff you care about, but it actually changes your entire life, dude.
Yeah. I know. I'm the worst party guest in the world. You get me going on this stuff, but
I love you, brother, because that's the kind of stuff I like to talk about, man. It's the kind of stuff that really affects. That's why I'm a big Bitcoin guy.
Oh, well, that there's a when you think about, I mean, a lot of people slough off the crypto and the Bitcoin and everything as being, not worthy of serious consideration. That may be the case with a lot of the altcoins, that may have been Ponzi-ish in their nature.
Right.
However, if you listen to the legitimate arguments and the reasoning behind, hey, we got to come up with another solution because this is garbage. What's going on? I'm paraphrasing that and I'm summarizing that in a street sentence, but that is, if you really look at it, you're like, yeah, there's a point there. Where is the backing of our currency? Where is the backing of any currency? It's all paper. It's all figment.
Right.
Our society, our global society operates on faith. Sadly, a little bit of that's been eroded. And so you're having the need for some of this alternative currency, et cetera.
Yeah. And I think that's why I believe next year we'll start the mass adoption of crypto and Bitcoin because the big boys are finally getting into it. They're already getting into it behind the scenes, and they've already been doing their scare jobs over the last year or two to bring the price down so they can. They're the foundation of our stock market. They're going to be the foundation of the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
All up until the last 6 months, they were talking it down, and now all of a sudden, Larry Fink and BlackRock and all these guys are getting Fidelity. If you look at Fidelity's website, and if you look at their, where they're hiring most. It's
digital crypto.
No, it's PhDs in math, and it's people that have the ability to pivot from the traditional investments to the alternative investments. So it's all going to be math based, and Jeff, I might need an advance to get another, get a PhD.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that the problem with the government is since they can't control this, and since it's also very open, it's something that they also don't like too at the same time because you can't hide it. Like right now, everybody's trying to find the Tesla money, because apparently he sold. I forgot what was the exact number of Bitcoin, and so now they're trying to find out if SpaceX, where was it, because that all can be traced nowadays. That's the beauty. That's the problem with the Janet Yellens and especially the Elizabeth Warrens of the world, who are so either they're evil or they're just dumb. But when she starts saying, well, you can do more illegal activity with crypto, and it's like, actually, no, you end up doing less because you can actually be traced and tracked in crypto where you can't with dollars. They can actually do a hell of a lot more dirty stuff, with dollars. It's crazy. So let me ask you, did Michael J. Blurry make the right call? Because he put a $1.6 billion short on the stock market.
He ends up being right a lot of the time. His timing, sometimes he's early. So this one, I think he had to declare that, that occurred over the last 60 days or whatever. And we found out about it. And then he was a little skeptical of the rally this year because I'm connected with him on social media and I follow what he's thinking. So I don't know that he actually put his money to work like that until recently, but he's been skeptical for a while. And just as in the movie The Big Short, he was wrong for 3.5 years.
Oh, he's been wrong before. Actually, he's had a couple calls that were wrong. It's just the 2008 housing market. That's what made his name, dude. I mean. Right.
But he wasn't wrong. He was just early.
Right.
And even as his thesis started to play out and he was correct in terms of the macroeconomic things that were going on, the markets like you said, the big boys weren't positioned properly. And it wasn't until they were positioned properly that they allowed the markets to reflect what was really going on. And it's so funny that you mentioned that, like with Bitcoin, the big boys are in now. Well, now we can kind of like see what's really going to happen because they're in. Yeah. So Michael Burry is, he's bought some puts. So I'm sure he's already starting to take some of that stuff off the table with the recent market action, but
since that came out, the market, I don't know if it's because there was some bad or because they saw his bet pretty much.
Yeah.
And they said, let me get out now. Let me get out now because the market's gone down, maybe about 400 some points in the last 2 days?
It's like NASDAQ's down 7% this month.
Yeah.
So like it was up 30 something percent for the year, but so some give back was overdue. This is all, if you look at it, if you take emotion out of it, pullbacks need to happen for the market to advance higher, and this could be good, but if there are certain tripwires that are passed, it could be bad, so right now it's good. It's a good, healthy pullback, and it's an opportunity to, hey, maybe you buy some quality companies, get some of the money invested that you've been sitting in cash. But if it passes a certain point, you also have to be willing to pivot and realize that it could get really, really difficult.
Okay. All right. One more thing, Tim.
Yep.
Tim Thielen, by the way, financial. What's your title?
I'm the director of wealth management for KSTT.
Okay, there you go. And Jeffrey, what are you guys telling your business clients? Because I don't know if we're going to necessarily have a housing crisis or how bad our inflation is going to get, if it's going to get any better, or if we're going to have a recession. But I know one thing's going to happen. Eventually, a lot of these office buildings all over the country, they're not going to be able to pay mortgages. And then the banks are also going to suffer from all of this because there's a lot of empty office spaces out there. So what are you telling business owners about possible investments into the real estate market down the line?
Like I said, it's for South Florida, it's different than the rest of the country, right? So I think there's already certain states that are seeing declines in the real estate market, right? Las Vegas, different California, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's
New York, I think,
we're in a difficult situation being in South Florida. Like you have to almost tell your clients a little bit something different here in South Florida than you're telling them.
Well, nationally, overall, right? Exactly. So two stories, local and then national.
Absolutely. Look, I listen to Tim. Tim and I talk every day about what's going on. I listen to a lot of other people out there. I really feel like in June next year that we will be not in that crazy recession that everyone else has been in, we've had in the past, but we'll be in somewhat of a small recession in June of next year. That's my opinion. And I'm not an expert like Tim is or anything else, but these are just based on hearing what Tim says, hearing what this person says, seeing the things that are out there. That's what I feel that's going to happen.
Because I still think we have another wave of banks and stuff that are going to go down. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've been telling people for 2 years, because since I've gotten into crypto, 2 years ago, I started saying this. He knows because he's with me. I told people banks are going to disappear. You're not going to see branches anymore. There are going to be very few banks because everything's going to be digital. It's just the way it is. And they're not going to need the mom and pop banks anymore and the medium-sized banks and all that stuff, because this is kind of the direction that Yellen and all these people want to take, our country in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I know that there's a lot of changes coming. So I'm wondering, how do you guys view it and what do you tell your businesses?
The reason I feel things are going to get bad is because I just don't see the Fed reacting as quickly as they should. They're kind of been slow this whole time, kind of reacting to what's going on. And, that's what I kind of love about Tim's strategy, the way we invest here at KCT. I mean, he's constantly got hedges in there to make sure that, our clients that he's investing for aren't losing. If the market's down, they're not losing the way the market is losing.
Exactly.
So he does a really, really good job about that. And I think we're going to have a little bit less of that recession here sometime in June next year for the South Florida market, but I think the rest of the country is going to be in a recession, basically.
Tim, are you a crypto guy?
I am I'm open. I'll just put it to you that way. I'm not one of the people that would say, what do you call it? Crypto maxis?
Yes.
Is that what they say?
Bitcoin maxi.
Yeah, Bitcoin maxi. I wouldn't classify myself as that. I would classify myself as being open. But
are you invested in the crypto market?
Yeah, we have a little bit. I'd say, I counsel clients not to put too big of bets in any one area. And that's probably, it hurts us when the market's going straight up, but it helps us like at times like this or in 2022 when the market's going straight down. We don't take a beating. Okay?
Yeah, like some guy's asking me here if he's asking me if a man had $50K to play, what would you do with crypto? And see, here's what I always tell people. And again, not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto. I always say if you got $100 or you got $150 or you got $100,000, I'd put 40% in Bitcoin, 30% in Ethereum, and then 10%, 10%, and 10% in altcoins.
I would say, I mean, if your strategy was,
that's how I would do it, because to me,
Bitcoin
and Ethereum are your Apple and your Microsoft,
right.
and you're not going to lose with those. So then take a chance with the 30%. You know, 10% Avalanche, 10% Polygon, 10% Cosmos, you know, something along those lines. And those are respectable altcoins that I think are going to be absolutely monsters. Again, not a financial advisor, folks. All right, just a guy who loves crypto. But for me, I'd rather you invest in Apple, and that's Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's eventually going to be your Apple. Yeah. When it's all said and done, it'll be the number one asset in the world. No asset. Have you ever seen an asset go up to $67,000? You know, and basically, I think my theory at that moment was people thought serious inflation was coming, and that's what happened.
Oh, we got it.
The next time it happens, you're going to see it go even higher than that.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I'm not yet a maxi. I don't know if I ever will be, because I'm a natural skeptic. And
I'm a maxi.
Yeah, there you go. By the way, all those names of all those other coins, I thought you were naming off old NASL teams.
Yes. Nice. I like that.
So the Avalanche and the Cosmos and everything. So anyway, but we really do counsel people on having exposure to different areas, and doing so in a thoughtful manner that manages risk, but also allows for some upside capture. People don't need to be making 30-50% a year to build wealth over time. They just need to not lose 30-50%.
Right.
Okay. So we need to, you want to have some growth potential, but you want to have some buffers on the downside. So we do.
But I don't know how you feel about this, but like people with money market accounts and that, you're getting 3-4%. You're not really getting ahead.
Yeah.
And that's the tricky part about investing, because you got to watch out. You say, well, I'm it's not the bank where I'm getting 0.5% or 0.25% for my savings. I'm getting 3-4%. Yeah, but inflation's running at 4 or 5%.
Yeah,
so you're not really gaining anything when it's all said and done. You're just allowing them to work with your money and make more money off of you than you're making off of them.
Right. That's again, some people, you'll get a scared client on occasion, even a scared prospect. Most of the people we talk to are in terms of prospects, prospective clients on the tax side or on the wealth management side. They might be great business owners, and we have a lot of successful business owners down here in South Florida, and they've accumulated a lot of wealth in cash, in reserves, real estate, but they don't know what to do because they almost have too much exposure just to safety or just to real estate. And it's like, you got to spread your bets around a little bit. Yeah. So we really do counsel people on that stuff, and we do so in a manner that keeps them out of trouble, keeps us out of trouble, but we also want to keep our clients out of trouble.
So you say you're not a maxi. So let's have the maxi conversation. Bitcoin or gold?
Oh no, Bitcoin has gold is a great store of value. Bitcoin it could be a great growth of value. And at certain times, you'll get these crazy spurts that go on from even when it sold off, right down to 20,000 in the last 18 months. That was a great opportunity to pick it up. It went up to 30. Now it's pulling back a little bit, and maybe
buy again, baby.
Yeah. So you just got to figure out. Yeah, I don't necessarily call my clients and say, hey, it's time to do it. But if actually one of Jeff's clients, NASCAR guy, young guy, 24 years old, he's the one who forced me to look at some of the other, coins.
Altcoins?
Yeah. He was like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And it forced me to do that. And it was
give him my number. I'll help him out with the altcoins.
I'll do so. You should get him on he's very popular. You should get him on a show at some point.
Let's do it. It's race car and crypto. That's my kind of guy, dude.
That's it.
That's my kind of guy.
I'll let him know that that his ears must be burning today. So,
all right. By the way, folks, if you want to join KSDT CPA, you are still hiring, correct, sir? Because you are adding offices all over the damn world, so you need employees, right? So reach out to us here at our offices in Dadeland. Give me the number off the top of the head.
305-670-3370.
There you go. If you're looking for a job, you can get a job here at a great place. The kitchen's like 3,000 square feet, dude. I got a foosball thing right in front of me here. Couches, everything. They've got like 4 microwaves, 3 refrigerators. I mean, give me a break, bro. So you want to work here at KSDT?
It's not just all that fun stuff too, but I mean,
chips,
food, chips. There you go. We have really smart people here at work. If you heard from Tim, and
there you go.
It's just so cool to be at a place where you're continually learning every day. You're learning something new.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's an exciting thing, and learning about something that clearly affects us every single day of our lives. And
absolutely.
That's why I wish most Americans would take the time more to learn more about what's really going on, because they keep us busy with the little submarine and they keep us busy with culture wars. And then meanwhile, they're slipping through these bills and these budget deficits and all this crap, and nobody pays attention to that.
We're here to help with all that. So.
I know. Exactly. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you, Jeffrey.
Thank you, guys.
You got it, guys. There you go. KSDT CPAs, baby. Ready to rock. Thank you, sir. All right, let's take a quick break. Give me 2 minutes. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean.
Hialeah Park Casino is turning 10, and we're bringing you an anniversary bash like never before. See a million, win a million. Join us every Saturday in August, where 10 lucky customers will have a chance to take home $1 million. Snap a selfie with $1 million in cash, post it on social media, and get ready to win even more fantastic prizes. Come to Hialeah Park Casino's 10th anniversary celebration and make history with us. When you see a million, win a million.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Back, and we thank Tim Thielen and Jeffrey Tarabolis. Excellent conversation there with our friends here at KSDT CPAs. And again, if you need a CPA for your personal or business, call our friends, 305-670-3776.
$33.70. Offices in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. And they've got one, they're opening it up in North Carolina too. I believe it's in the Charlotte area. They'll be opening it up. So good stuff there. And Brett Dodger, you, sir, are 1,000% right. Anyone who says they can predict the market is full of shit. That's right. It's very hard. We can all make our predictions and all that, but nobody really knows what's going to happen. That's why you never know what the top is when you're going to sell, and you never know when the bottom is. And so some people tell you buy the dip, and then you get pissed because you bought the dip, but it dipped a little bit more than when you bought it. And so, it's just kind of the way it goes. You don't know really where the bottom's going to be. You never really know where the top's going to be. We're all kind of playing that guessing game. Doesn't matter, but, and again, to the realist Miami Dolphin, if you had $50K to play, or $50 or $500 in crypto, I would take you in the responsible route, not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto, but this is what I would do. I would put 40% of it into Bitcoin, 30% of it into Ethereum. Great time now because there's a dip. And then 10, 10, and 10. Polygon. I love Polygon. I love Avalanche. I love Cosmos. I love Cardano, VeChain, Illuvium. There's certain ones that you can take your risks there. To me, Bitcoin and Ethereum is not a risk at all. Okay? Again, not a financial advisor, just a guy who loves crypto. But to me, getting Bitcoin and Ethereum is basically investing in Apple and Microsoft, and just it's money in the bank, and it just will continue to grow over time. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I look at it. So, and then you have to take chances in the market, right? Those two are going to grow exponentially, but some of the altcoins are going to grow even more, but you don't know which ones, right? And so certain ones have great, ecosystems. Like Avalanche, for me, has one of the best ecosystems out there. So does Cosmos. I'm big on those two, huge on those two. So a Polygon is another one. Those are probably three of my biggest bags after Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there you go. It's kind of the way I look at it. You got to get some GFOW Joy System, and definitely some Caspa. Okay. Don't have any of those myself, my man. I've heard of them. That's why you DCA exactly, Kyle Cockrell. That's right. Dollar cost average. Buy it all the way down. I did not invest in XRP because they're in the middle of a lawsuit with the SEC. Crypto is stressful enough as it is. Investing in the stock market is stressful enough as it is. Investing in something that's also tied in an SEC lawsuit becomes even more stressful. So I don't need the extra stress. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did not invest in XRP. Plus, Stellar Lumens is competitor to XRP. And, there's a couple of others that are doing some of the things that XRP is doing. And if XRP isn't allowed to grow in the States, and yet Lumens is doing some other things, it could also take away from their potential growth pattern. So I also see that there's some stuff that could derail the growth of XRP and the hype that comes with it. Okay. But I know it has potential. There's no doubt about it. Link is a beast. I'm with you, Bromar. I have a ton of Chainlink. Love Chainlink. That's another one of those that's one of those 10%ers. See, what I would do, you get $100, you put 40% in Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, and then the 10, 10, and 10, the 10%, those are the ones I would rotate. 10 in Cosmos, 10 in Avalanche, 10 in Polygon. Then the next time you get another 100% pie, 40 Bitcoin, 30% in Ethereum, and then the 10, 10, and 10, 10 in Cardano, 10 in Chainlink, 10 in VeChain, things like that, 10% in Illuvium, at least some of the ones that I like. That's what I would do. I would rotate those 10% and say, okay, well, I'm going to put 10% more here.
and 10% more here. Okay? Things like that. And then you can also take a risk and go a little bit more in the periphery and get an altcoin that is more riskier, but way more potential to explode and give you, real money back, and like Star Atlas is one of them for me, and Jasmine. Those are two that I'm invested in heavily, and those are, long shots. But if you hit on them, I could be in a beach with a drink in my hand, toes in my sand, and woo! What a beautiful girl. That'll be my wife next to me, by the way. What's it called? Here we go. One hard rule for any investment. If it reports an SEC or accounting issue, that equals sell. Yeah, you could look at it that way. I have no problem with that. I know that the people in the XRP people have been, you're taking a chance, but I get it. Realist says, I think I'm going to go BIC coin. You mean Bitcoin, Ethereum, and not watch it for a year or two. I mean, keep my eye on it, but you know what I mean. I'm looking there 5 years down the road. Well, actually, Realist, I don't think you need to look 5 years down the road. The halving is coming in April. That will cut the supply in half. That Bitcoin, when these ETFs go off, Bitcoin's going to explode. You're gonna get not an investment person. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor, but I think 2024 is going to explode. I mean, explode. I've been telling you, haven't I been saying for 2 years we're playing for 2024 and 2025, right? Here it's coming. My time is running out. I've been telling you for 2 years now, this is what we're planning for. The end of this quarter, that I think things will start to move a little bit. Fourth quarter, I'm sorry, the end of fourth quarter. And then next year, I think things start to explode. It's an election year, bro. They're going to rig it. They're going to lower the rates. They're going to pump money into the economy. Come on, man. They're going to play you guys like a puppet and all that stuff because that's what they do. You heard these guys here. They said the same thing. You know what I mean? I don't care about Democrats and Republicans. I care about you, Americans. I'll let some of you out there divide each other and divide yourselves with your Democrat ways and your Republican ways and all that. I'm about Americans, dude. I look out for you guys. I don't care about the rest. I don't care about stinking Democrats. I don't care about stinking Republicans. To me, that's all silliness. Should be about Americans, period. That's what we should be about. Red, white, and blue, baby. Nothing else. No more. None of that choosing sides. There's only one side, the American side. And we've gone about it a terrible way. And we've just divided each other. And then they use that against us to screw us all over. Each side. Republicans are screwing the Republicans over, and Democrats are screwing the Democrats over, and you don't see it. So, whatever. Most cryptos are scams. Yeah, there's thousands of coins. He's right. He's 1,000% right. Look what's going on with DEX and what's that other Hex? That idiot. I mean, but if you watch that idiot, like how, it's like the Justin Sun stuff, like Tron and all that, I'd stay away from that. Yeah, you got to do your homework. Kyle is 1,000% right. There's a lot of those coins that are not, and they're not real companies. They don't have they don't have any real value to the world. So, yeah, always think long-term when investing for wealth. It avoids worry over short-term volatility. Exactly. Brett and Kyle are smart dudes. They get it. Yeah, red, white, and blue facts. Yeah, but that's not the way most of us live. We live choosing our sides. And then thinking that okay, so I'm a Republican, Trump is good for me. I'm a Democrat, Biden's good for me. It's the stupidest shit in the world, but whatever. You guys can keep doing that if you want. Think for yourselves for once. Stop being tools, following bad advice and bad people. By the way, tomorrow we'll be at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Okay? 11 a.m.? Huh, Sean? 11 a.m. or noon? 10 a.m.? $11 a.m., Sean says. I love this guy. Anyway, so 11 a.m. tomorrow we'll be at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. So we'll be giving to you 6 days a week here this week and getting it done. What else do we have here? Okay. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have here? Most projects the token. Okay. Have you seen Pepe? Yeah, but it's a meme coin. I'm not the only meme coin I'm into, really, to be quite honest, and I've always been into it, is SHIB. I've been into SHIB. I made a ton of money on SHIB. Okay. I did. I made a ton of money on SHIB. It went to 91 and I got it at 06. 15 times. And I told you guys about it when it was at 06, 07, and it went all the way to 91. I sold half of my SHIB, okay, which I got back my investment and a bunch of profit. And then I have the other half of my SHIB left. And it went right back down again. And I said, that's fine. I'll wait for the next bull run and I'll cash in on my SHIB again. And it's all profit right now at this point. Do not be afraid to take profits. And that's what I did with my SHIB. And SHIB, the Shibarium is out now. They've got NFTs. They apparently they've got all kinds of decks that are ready, dApps and decks that are ready to just like dApps, I'm sorry, that are ready to get on their platform. So they've got businesses that are already getting ready to get on their blockchain, Shibarium, and start building and start doing their work. So that's a meme coin that I want to get invested in. Why? It's got actually like real usage. Doge has no usage unless Elon wants to use it as money. Doge is useless. And then all the other ones, Floki and Pepe and all those other ones, I'm just those are shit coins, dude. That's what we call them in the business. Shit coins. You know what I mean? SHIB is the only meme coin that actually is legitimate. And I believe that somebody big in the business is behind SHIB. A lot of people think it's Vitalik from Ethereum. But there's so much involved in SHIB that it just doesn't, it seems like a legitimate business. They're not treating it like a meme coin. And so SHIB would be the only one. And by the way, SHIB is at a buying zone. That's what I think. If you want to take a shot, something that's many zeros behind a penny, so it's really cheap, SHIB would be one that I would take a chance on, just for the hell of it. Now, look at it as money you're going to lose, but I would take a chance on it because I think SHIB's going to have another one of those runs. That's why I've hung on. This SHIB is confusing. I made a little money off SHIB, but it's a total garbage coin, crap use case built on crap ETH network. The tech will go nowhere. Well, we'll see. But I don't think you've seen the businesses that are loaded up and ready to go to get up on SHIB. It doesn't seem a bootleg whatsoever. All right, let's get to some sports, man. Good news, Teron Armstead. We talked about it. It's on our platform there. You can go and check out the segment from last night. A lot of good news overall. Get ready for week one. You know, the one thing for Teron Armstead, bro. Okay, so he's injury prone, right? Okay, but he's also freaking unlucky because they just rolled up on his leg. You know what I mean? And my favorite part about this, not that I enjoy it, but you know what my favorite part about the Teron Armstead injury is? The losers that are ready to pile on. It's like losers, like they sit there, right, and wait for some negativity
so they can just come out of the woodwork, pop out of the bushes, and just slam, right? And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I had some idiot. I think his name is Matthew Kane, I think, on Twitter. Okay. Matthew Kane, I believe, is the guy. Let me see here. Let me make sure I have it right. But I'm pretty sure that the idiot's name on Twitter is Matthew Kane. And so he's, there's the Noah Igbenogany, Nico Collins lowlight where he gets absolutely burned, right? And so when he gets burned, this guy goes, "Oh, another great pick by Chris Greer," right? And so, my problem with that was that it just sounds like you're there to pile on and you're really not actually watching what's going on and not really paying attention to, the what's it called? The actual results, right? And so you look at it, and let me just here we go. My man Jason Sarney, by the way, shout out to him on Dolphins Weekly. He put out a couple tweets, and I know about these things because I've actually done it in the past, but he did it for me here lately. So I just sent it to this idiot, Matthew Kane. And listen, he's a nice guy, but there's a lot of you out there that you're just misinformed. To complain about Noah Igbenogany when the same guy that got Noah ended up getting X, and he also got Fitz, and he got Javon Holland, and he found Nick Needham. Even Trill Williams was helping out, found Kader Kohu, Brandon Jones. They've hit on so many people in the secondary, and the Cam Smith kid looks really good. So to complain about Noah at this point, you got to be like a freaking moron because he's the only miss out of all the guys. And then on top of that, they find people off the street like Needham and Kohu. And I think Trill will help out this year, right? So Greer's second round history: Xavier Howard, McMillan, Gesicki, Robert Hunt, Raekwon Davis, Javon Holland, Liam Eichenberg, and Cam Smith. So he's got a couple of misses there, right? McMillan is a miss. Raekwon Davis I'm not sure what he is. He's not a hit. He's not a complete miss either. He's kind of in the middle. And then Liam Eichenberg's a miss, but everything else is a hit, right? So I sent him that, right? And then I sent him also his first round history, right? Because he complained about the first round history. Tunsil, Christian Wilkins, Minka, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, and Tua Tagovailoa. Charles Harris is a miss, although Charles Harris plays better with Dan Campbell. He had 7.5 sacks in 14 games 2 years ago. Last year, I don't think he didn't have a good season. I don't think he played as much. Austin Jackson and Noah Igbenogany. So let's say you missed on Harris, Jackson, and Igbenogany, right? And you still may hit on Jackson. But let's just say Jackson's a miss. So you hit on 6 and you miss 3. That's over 60%. Brother, if you're 50% in the first round, you're awesome in the draft. Miami was never even 50% before Chris Greer. They were like 25%. So these are the things that sometimes happen, and I don't understand that fan that just sits there to want to hammer. Is it that you're racist? Or are you just stupid and ignorant and uninformed and uneducated? Which one is it? To complain about Chris Greer when you don't know the facts and you just want to complain about Eichenberg and Jackson and Noah, and yet there's a shit ton of good picks. Way more good picks than there is bad picks. So what is it? Are you racist? Is it that? Is it that you just, because it's a black dude running the team? I just want to know, what is it about you people? Because the facts are This is the best team since the early 90s. And I still have morons that take shots at Chris Grier. And the facts are he's the best drafter they've had since the 70s. Are you listening to me? This is the best person you've had drafting since the 70s. And you people sit there and you wait for a Armstead injury to just slam the guy. You wait for Noah Igbenogany, the only miss in the secondary, pretty much, okay? And they found somebody better than Noah in street free agency named Koa, and, you just forget about that. It just goes right by. No, let me kill Chris Grier all for Noah Igbenogany. Let me forget about all the other great things he did in the secondary, but let me just kill him for Noah. Are you just racist? I'm just trying to figure this out because there's no actual intelligence behind ripping Chris Grier. You have no facts. There's nothing to stand on. So are you racist? I just want to know. If you're racist, bro, just tell me you're racist. Oh, another pick by the black GM because I'm racist. I just want to know. Okay, so if you're not racist, then are you just stupid? Like Matthew Cain is. Because there's a lot of you that are just freaking ignorant, stupid, uneducated, uninformed. Or you're racist. Which one is it? There's nothing else to choose. There are no other options. If you're anti-Chris Grier, you're either dumb or you're racist. I'm not exactly sure which one it is. I'd like to know. Seriously, I'd like to know. Please explain to me that, because there is no logic behind it. Big O, I'm not going to lie. I was piling on just a bit some of these fans, and to be honest, some of them had it coming. It's one thing to debate, but when you send death threats to me, I will retaliate. Oh, I don't know about what you're talking about. Big O, some fans, media simply focus on negatives. They're unhappy people in general. Yeah, I know that. But, the stuff with Chris Grier, I don't understand it. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it. Are you that stupid? The team is way better off with this guy than they've ever been in decades. And yet this guy still can't get a fair shake from everybody. So true, but where is he ranked in the NFL, not just Dolphin history? Who are we talking about? Grier? Well, right now, I put him up second to Shula right now. Right now, he's built the second best teams since Shula. He's built better. All the teams since Shula, this is a better team than all those teams. All of them. So he only has to compete now with the 80s and the 70s. I doubt he'll beat the 70s because, there's a couple championships there and three straight trips to the Super Bowl. That's a lot to ask for anybody, but he can certainly come second to that at least and get a title. Yeah, so the racist card is weak. I agree. Whoopi Goldberg tried doing that. Look how it worked out. Well, I don't care about Whoopi Goldberg works for a corporation. I don't work for a corporation. And if you don't like a cap for life, you can kiss my ass and you can leave, bro. So I can call things the way I want to call it. So either you're stupid or you're racist. One of the two. If you're picking on Chris Grier, you're either stupid or racist. There's only two choices. There's no other choice. So make a choice. Those of you that are anti-Grier, Make a choice. There's only two of them. There's nothing else to it. You lack intelligence or you're biased. Those are the facts. There's no other reason to pick on Chris Greer outside of you being plain stupid, that you're just uneducated, like Matthew Cain. Okay? Like that idiot yesterday that I had to straighten out. See, the thing is, the difference between me and every other host in town, they're not going to tell you the truth when you're wrong. And when you're saying something stupid, they'll just avoid you and let you just out in the wind. I won't. I'm going to gut you like a fish is what I'm going to do because you're on my timeline. And so since you're on my timeline, I'm going to educate you. And if you don't want to be educated, then you will get crushed. That's all. And so when I see that clown like Matthew Cain, who has been an idiot for a while, you just get to a point where you just got to crush him. And so I'm going to tell you the way it is. You may not like it. I don't care. It's not my problem. You know what I mean? So to me, the Chris Greer stuff has gotten to a point that it's either you're really stupid or you're racist. There's only two ways to go with it. No other way to go with it. You're either stupid or you're racist. That's all. And the problem is, those of you that are picking on Chris Greer, you now realize that I'm calling you stupid. So you don't want to be called stupid. And you certainly don't want to be called racist because you're probably not racist. You're just stupid. And you have nothing to defend yourself. See, that's the thing. So I'm just saying. Big O, how much is Greer paying you? And he's saying, kidding. You know, it reminds me of Eric Spoelstra. Same thing happened with Eric Spoelstra, except it's not racist on that end. At least I don't think. But Bumpgate happened. And you know how many of you wanted to fire Eric Spoelstra? Not me. I've never wanted to fire Eric Spoelstra. I would never fire Eric Spoelstra because I think Eric Spoelstra, back then, I knew was going to be a hell of a coach. And I had to fight people for that too. And I just found it ignorant as hell to just be lazy and give in to, because him and LeBron had some disagreement and all that. No, dude. And I stuck by Eric Spoelstra then, and I've always stuck by Eric Spoelstra. Why? Because I believe in Eric Spoelstra. I didn't believe in Jeff Ireland. I believe in Eric Spoelstra. I believe in Chris Greer. Listen, man. Sean, who's the first person who said to fire Dale Talon in town? Nobody had the balls to say fire Dale Talon. Won Stanley Cups. Patrick Kane, did you see what he built in Chicago? That's what all the hockey heads would tell me. I'd bring on the writers locally. Dwork and Richards would not even touch that subject. I don't know about that. Yeah, of course. Nobody was willing to say that shit. Because I'm the only one that's willing to say that shit. Before anybody else. So, whatever you want to think about Chris Greer, it's the same thing I do with Eric Spoelstra. It's the same thing I did with Flo. Who, by the way, who's saying Flo was going to get fired in the middle of a winning streak? What did you say to me? I was crazy? The beat writers would tell me you're crazy, that he's going to get fired in a winning streak. Did he get fired? Oh, okay. By the way, did somebody say that in order for the Panthers to advance, they've got to trade Huberdeau for a star? Somebody say that? Somebody say that? So Chris Greer, Spoelstra ain't paying me. You know, this is who I am. This is who I've always been. When they drafted Tannehill, I told you he's not the guy. When they signed Philbin, I said, that's a waste. He can't build a staff. Before the man even could build a staff, I told you he couldn't build a staff. I told you he was stuck in Green Bay his entire life. He had no other jobs ever in the NFL. And Green Bay was not letting anybody go in that. I said, he can't build a staff. He doesn't know anybody. This is who I am. If I believe in something, I stick my guns with it all the way. And I'll be wrong or I'll be right. Same thing happened with Eric Spoelstra. Fire him. Oh, he's not good enough. No, LeBron wants somebody else. This, that. Nope. It's who I am. And to me, Chris Grier is the best thing we've had here in decades. And again, I ask you, are you either stupid or racist? Which one is it? At least look in the mirror and admit you're dumb and say, you know what? I need to get educated here. I'm so used to complaining about the Dolphins that this is the only way I know. And so if I don't complain about the Dolphins, I'm not happy. And so I complain so much that I end up giving nobody a chance. But if I actually sit back and look at what the overall job that's been done, it's an exceptional job by Chris Grier. In spite of having to deal with Mike Tannenbaum and having to deal with the Adam Gase situation, having to deal with stupid-ass Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal taking a first and third from him, going after Brady behind his back, all that kind of stuff. I was driving in, and I'm listening to Mike Florio say something to, I think it was Donald that was filling in for Joe, and he was telling me, well, I think they're trying to take it easier with Tua because, the franchises mistreat him. They went behind his back, this, that, and Florio's completely wrong because Chris Grier never went behind Tua's back to go get Brady. That was the owner. Chris Grier did not go want Deshaun Watson. That was the head coach. Chris Grier drafted and wanted Tua, and that was his guy. But everybody else, like a Florio, makes shit up, and then you guys drink it as Kool-Aid. Same with Flores. Could not build a staff. Yep, exactly. Big O, I think Inter Miami is getting Messi. I hope they would do it and be great, but I think he's too old to play. There you go. I missed the super chat. I'm sorry. Just the Tuas. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I. The only issue I have with Grier is the lack of not getting ahead of the market and extending players. Why would you want to extend the player? Yeah, no. I think you let contracts play out and up to the year, and it's a very injury prone league. This isn't baseball and shit like that. No, I'm good with the way they've handled things. They haven't really had a ton of cap issues yet, so we'll see how it goes. But right now, I'm fine with the way they've handled the cap. I don't think it's and contracts. I'm good with that. I'm all right with that. I'm not worried about it. They'll get everything done. Let's see. From now on, Big O, when someone points something stupid in the chat, curse them out in Spanish. That would be epic, bro. Big O got some fire. I like it. It's just, it's just silliness, man. I just really wonder where it comes from with Grier. You can't complain about the guy right now. You shouldn't be complaining about the guy. You got a hell of a GM. We got a hell of a team. They should be in the playoffs. They should be winning double digits. It's up to Mike McDaniel now. Get the job done.
Block that person who said that about Messi. I think he was joking around, Steven. I think he was just having fun. I think he was, having a little fun with it. No big deal. LeBron knew he could never control the narrative here. That's why he left. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt he can't control it. I started with 2K, made over 6 figures in the playoffs, beating the Heat money line. I don't know. Somebody led you guys on a lot of Heat bets there, and you want a lot of money if you listen to the way we handled the Heat in the regular season and then in the playoffs. You won yourselves a lot of money. Okay, that's all I got to say. We've been giving you guys some really good investment advice lately. Okay, what's the crypto market doing? Well, Bitcoin's over 26,000, locked in right now. Not bad. Let me see what we got going on. Where's the market at right now? It's a little bit in the green, 41 points up. The Dow, unfortunately, S&P's down 3 points. And the NASDAQ is barely in the green. Not even 0.1%. But barely in the green. Not bad. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Big O, I meant the contracts like Wilkins. There will be a lot of DTs inferior to Christian. They got the bag. I was hoping we would lock them up before, which would have possibly saved our franchise cap. Are you sure that they wanted to sign him? And are you sure it wasn't that the Wilkins side wanted to also drag it out to see the other deals? Are you sure about that? You make it sound like it's a one-way thing. Sometimes there's gamesmanship going on the other side. And maybe the other side's the one that's kind of dragged things out to let some of those other ones sign so he can bring his up for his client. You never know what's going on. So maybe that's the whole point. It's funny because up until like 2 years ago, people were calling Christian Wilkins a bust. Because I took the reactions from you guys. There are plenty of you guys that weren't real Christian Wilkins fans. So it's almost like some of you have turned over in the last year or two and become Christian Wilkins guys. It's funny. So it just goes, it'll get done. Don't worry about it. Folks, 18 or 20, the 2 million ain't going to break your bank. It's not going to cause hell. You know what's hell? Hell is having to pay Wilkins and Jalen Phillips and Jalen Waddle and Holland and Hunt and Tua and that's another sign of Chris Grier. Do you remember the Dolphins having that many people forced to sign? That's because they actually hit on picks. They never used to hit on enough picks. They didn't have enough people to re-sign. They wouldn't. Now they're actually going to end up losing people and getting compensatory picks because they're not going to be able to re-sign everybody. Oh my God, what a new thing for the Miami Dolphins. They're actually going to have too many people to sign. You do know you're not going to be able to sign everybody, right? You guys do know that, right? That's why you've got to draft well. Oh man, it's like everything is turning for the better. You're getting a deeper team, you're getting a better team, better at drafting, better at trading, and the fruits of it are going to come to reality. You're going to have too many people to sign. You're going to lose some. And now you're going to start getting compensatory picks. And now that sweet cycle will start. That if you start hitting on picks and then they start developing and then you start losing some of them and then you're getting compensatory on top of your draft picks. And as long as your idiot owners don't go doing stupid things to cost you picks, because we just gave away a first and a third. The stuff that Chris Grier works hard to produce, but, hold it against Chris Grier that the owner's a moron. It's again, are you stupid or racist? Which one is it? Which one is it? Stupid or racist? Let's see. We're going to be fine, guys. This is the best Dolphins team in decades. Just need some faith. Forget about all the BS that has happened in the past. Amen to that. When you hit on players, it's a good problem to have in this case. Hells to the yeah. If Wilkins can produce 10 sacks a year with his stats, he doesn't have to produce 10 sacks. The guys on the outside need to produce sacks, and maybe his can go up to 6 or 7 or something like that. But I don't think he needs to be a 10-sack guy to be – it's the other guys. Chubb has to do his job. Jalen Phillips has to now – I think he's going to break out to 12, 13 sacks this year. But I think he goes over 10-plus sacks this year. And so then all of a sudden now, and then if Ogba can be the third guy, now you've got something going. And remember, you'll have blitzers from different people, from Van Ginkel and Brandon Jones once he gets healthy in the second half of the season, things like that. Not that you're going to be much of a blitzing team, but you'll have your opportunities at times to do it. Do you know who is in line to become owner when Ross kicks the bucket? I think it's his daughter now. I believe the daughter's the one that's taking over now. Don't hold my feet to the fire, but I think that's the thing. Okay. By the way, in our 3A graphics sports calendar tonight, we got Marlins and Dodgers. Sandy will be on the mound, 5-10, 4.09 ERA. Let's see if Sandy can get some consistency down the stretch here. He's had an absolutely shitty season. Tony Gonsolin, I think is how it's pronounced, 8-4, 4.24 ERA. So now you got a set against the Dodgers, and then the Padres aren't that good. The Padres are 58-63. So an under 500 team. They do have talent. Okay, so it's not going to be easy for the Marlins, but it's going to be a tough 6-game stretch here for the Marlins. And then tomorrow, baby, the League's Cup. I can't wait. Saturday, 9:00. The only way I don't see this game live is if one of you invite me to the Guns N' Roses concert on Saturday. Outside of that, if I don't get invited to the Guns N' Roses concert, I'll be watching Nashville and Inter Miami. Did you see Messi's press conference yesterday? How cool is it that he does the superhero thing with his kids? So he like the Spider-Man stuff. He does superhero celebrations because he watched a lot of superhero movies with the kids. So he only does it at home games, not at road games, because the kids are there. So when he scores, which he does that often, he then, when you see him, you'll see him do some kind of celebration, and it's for his kids. So it's actually pretty cool. He'll play on the artificial turf, he said. So that's actually pretty cool. He just says it's an adjustment like anything else. Obviously, they are paying him a lot of money. But and then they asked him kind of, it was interesting because they asked him about being the face of the team and the league and that kind of stuff and lifting soccer overall, in this country. And he was like, nah, I'm not really thinking about that. I came here to play the game I love and enjoy and all that. And it's interesting because I think there's a certain part of it that he has to think that, but he doesn't want to assume the responsibility that is clearly there. Whether he likes it or not, it's kind of been put on him. But he is taking more of the approach of, hey, man, I'm coming here to do what I've normally done all my life. And when you think about it, that's all he really has to do is do what he's done all his life. The magic comes with it. And we're watching it already. And we're watching how millions, billions of eyes around the world are watching Inter Miami now. That's super cool. You know what I'm saying? So whether he likes it, wants it, accepts it, it's there for him. He is the face of the league, the face of Inter Miami, the face of an American professional soccer league. And he's the reason why now more and more people all over the world are talking about Inter Miami, and more people all over the world, players, are going to say, hey, the MLS is an option for me. And that's because of Messi. What Pelé and the NASL could never accomplish, Messi and the MLS might be able to do over the next 20 years. It'll be not that Messi will be there for 20 years, but he is the guy that's going to start that fire. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So 9:00 in Nashville, Leagues Cup final. Let's hope they can get it done, man. 3X Graphics sports calendar, baby. 3X Graphics, custom printing and embroidery, 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. Call my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-251-3404 for custom printing and embroidery. All right. We got that. We got Dolphins off today, obviously. They will get ready for the game on Saturday, 4:00, NRG Stadium. By the way, I like that the Dolphins are at 4:00. Completely out of the way of Inter Miami. Okay? Absolutely out of the way. And that is a beautiful thing that's going to go on. I like that. And the beauty is we get to see a little more Kendall Lamb. So, preseason game number 2. The injury to Teron Armstead puts more of a focus on Kendall Lamb, who has done a good job. And, Kendall's been on several teams. He's bounced around. Listen, linemen are strange. And especially in today's world. Because, I had a couple of people on social media, especially one idiot, this guy's been on a bunch of teams. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything with offensive linemen. A lot of offensive linemen sometimes find their way later on in their careers. They bounce around. They're in the wrong systems. They're not physically ready. They're not fine-tuned. Maybe they only run block and they don't pass block. Maybe they only pass block, don't run block because of the system or college they were in. So they have to grow into being a player at the next level. And so linemen, a lot of times, bounce around the league. Sometimes it takes them several years to find their way, and there's a ton of examples of guys like that. And we've seen it here in Miami. We've seen guys that were nothing here, and then they move on, and they find their way. Billy Hunter was a guy that was not ready here, but then he went and made a career for himself, right? And we've had several guys like that. And they bounce around, and then they eventually find their way, and they find who they are, and they become good linemen. And so maybe that's what Kendall Lamb is doing. And now with the Teron Armstead injury, that puts all the focus on Kendall Lamb, and it gives him great reps. And to me, that's the important part for the next, 2 games here. Get him great reps. Get him as prepared as possible for the regular season. Maybe Austin Jackson finds his way and Eichenberg doesn't, or vice versa. And it took Jackson several years and a couple of coaches, and then he figured it out. You never know. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes it's just like that with certain guys. And I think that's what you want to do now in this preseason game tomorrow. You want to focus in on the left tackle now. You want to focus in on the left guard because there's a battle there going on, right? Wynn, Cotton, Eichenberg, Robert Jones. You've got 4 different guys there that can battle for that left guard spot. Cotton played a lot of right guard, last week. I hope that they use him more at left guard. It'll be interesting to see what kind of rotation they have at left guard. There's no doubt at right tackle that Austin Jackson, right now looks like he's the number 1 guy at that spot. But the left guard is something we want to look at. A-Chain, okay, the Cook move is done, right? Now you people can move on. Well, Cook is another kid that you want over the next 2 games to get as much playing time as possible, right? So he can get acclimated with the system and get comfortable too. Obviously, Mike White and Skyler. Mike looks like he's taken the lead here, but it's good for him to get these reps too so he can get to know the system. I don't know if Tua will play this week. I'm sure he'll play next week. I'm not sure if he'll play this week. We'll see. Who knows? What's it called? Getting Higgy with it. That experiment has not gone well so far. Okay? Tanner Connor has been injured. Tanner Connor, you've been waiting and waiting, and you know he runs like the wind, but you can't keep waiting for the kid. You know, at one point or another, you got to get healthy and you got to help out. And he hasn't been able, he hasn't done enough to make the 53 now. Now you're going to have to be forced to put him on the practice squad, something you didn't do last year, and expose him. And if somebody wants to take him, then so be it. But Tanner Connor just hasn't shown you anything. You haven't seen enough from Higgy. So that playmaking tight end that you were searching for, you haven't found it. Right? Now, the other tight ends, you got to look at them for blocking purposes, make sure they can at least be steady pass catchers, that kind of stuff. And then we want to see the third wide receiver. Braxton Berrios, obviously, I think is the number one guy for being that slot guy. And then what's going to happen with Chosen and all the other guys? You know, that's the kind of stuff. And then I want to see, how about Brandon Peely? He has really come around. I think he's earned a spot in the 53 as the last tackle, but he had the neck injury. Will he be able to play on Saturday? And can he build on what he's already done? Then I want to look at the young linebackers, right? That you've got several guys. My boy Good, you know, Good is kind of shined a little bit here. We'll see if he can continue. Aubrey Miller is another guy that's done a nice job. The kid, God, what's the kid now that I'm Agude? You know, all the young linebackers are showing us something. Tyndall. So let's see what those guys are doing in the next two games. Linebacker is very important. You kind of know who your starters are, but you want to know that second group. Are you developing anybody that is a potential starter? And do you have depth at linebacker? Something that I think we're all a little bit worried about. Correct? Secondary play. You want to see if Cam Smith, I know he's been dealing with the shoulder, so I don't know if he's going to play in this one and he's got to tackle. But if not, then Cater and the rest of the guys, you know, and I don't know if what's it called? Trill, I think, right, is already cleared, right? If I'm correct. So some of these young guys that also were either coming back from an injury, because I don't think Needham is ready. I think Trill's the one that's ready, or is it the other way around? Well, whichever one it is that's in there. Right, Trill's cleared, right? Nick's not yet. So if Trill's in there, that'll be good to see. You know, those kind of things. And then there's some of the other guys that were kind of under the radar to find out some of those secondary guys. There's a lot of things to look at still in the next two games to kind of check this out. It is, right? Right. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of things in this preseason game that we can actually look at and kind of figure out what the hell are they going to do. Okay. Let's see. Roger says, I've been following Dolphins YouTube channel for 3+ years, and believe me when I say we don't have NASA scientists in the fan base. Far from it. Yeah, you're right. Big O, to your point about Messi, the great French player Antoine Griezmann wants to finish his career in the MLS. There you go. True, Big O. Get in where you fit in. I was once a pizza delivery guy, and now I'm a porn star. Bow, chicky, bow, bow. What's the name of the Bow, chicky, wow, wow guy? What was his name? Posner, right? Was that song? Bow, chicky, wow, wow. Poser, right? Something like that. Wow. So now because we don't see eye to eye, people are called stupid and racist. Wow. I thought the divide ended. Well, Cap for Life. Are you an anti-Greer guy? Are you an anti-Greer guy? You're either two things. Which one is it? You can't handle that you're stupid? There's only two things. You're not intelligent, Cap for Life, if you're anti-Greer. If you think Greer is not good, then you're stupid or you're racist. You can't handle the truth, my brother? You get all bent out of shape, Cap for Life? Pobrecito. You need a little shrink? I got a couch here for you, buddy. If you want, are you a little sensitive? Did I hit a sore spot? Did I hit the truth? Is that what happened? Did the truth hurt Cap for Life? Is that what happened, my brother? Pobrecito. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, stupid and racist is what I'm talking about. On the Chris Greer front, there's two things. If you don't like Chris Greer and you think he's doing a bad job, you're either stupid or racist. There's nothing else. There's nothing in between. There's nothing in betwixt. There's nothing on the outside. There's nothing in the periphery. There's nothing. Okay? The guy's done a hell of a job. Best team since the early 90s. We're going into the 80s. We'll see how they perform. Because if they perform well, they're easily better than any team in the 90s. Easily. Okay? We're going into the 80s at this point. So if the guy has done an excellent job, which he's done an excellent job, okay, and you think he's a bad GM, and you're complaining about Chris Greer, Cap for Life, you're either stupid or racist. One of the two. There's no other explanation. None. You're hitting on over 60% of your first-round picks. You're hitting well over that number also in your second-round picks. Might be even higher. So I'm not sure. This is the best team since the 90s. What's there to complain about Chris Greer? So, one of the two. You're not very smart if you're an anti-Chris Greer guy. Because the facts crush you. I mean, squash you. Like, it squash you like King Kong sitting on your ass. Okay? So, well, my perception is the truth. So, I'm sorry if you're either stupid or racist, Cap for Life. I can't help you, my man. So, anyway, here we go. Johnny Rotten. Greer drafted any linemen that are not named Robert Hunt. And so what, bro? He's drafted an entire team. Linemen are hard to find. That's the entire league has lineman problem. Johnny Rotten, are you stupid or racist? Which one is it? Stupid or racist? You sound stupid to me. You sound incredibly stupid to me. Okay? Best team since the 90s, Johnny Rotten. Nobody has offensive linemen. It's like 2 or 3 teams. Actually, after talking to Matt Verderame, they're worried about their tackles because they lost their tackles and they switched them out. So maybe it's Philadelphia and San Francisco. The rest of the league has line issues. The entire division in the AFC East, they all have at least 2 spots that are questionable. So I'm not sure you know that, Johnny Rodney, because you're probably not very smart. So there you go. With Big O, it's always live fire on the shooting range. Yep. Duck, get a bulletproof vest, get lost, get out of here. But yeah, you're going to get crushed here. Yep. So one would have to be a complete moron to hate Greer. That's my point. You're either a moron or you got to be racist then. It's one of the two. Most of you are stupid. Most of you that just don't like Greer, you're just stupid. You're really just an uninformed fan. That's all. So, it's not Cap for Life's fault. He's been brainwashed by all the terrible takes he listens to on Dolphins YouTube, Twitter Spaces. Well, then he's just stupid then. It's all right. Big O, be careful what you wish for. What am I wishing for? What did I wish for? $1 million? $2 million? Bitcoin to hit 5 million? I don't know. What am I being careful to wish for? A pizza from Di Papa's? So there you go. Anyway. What's that? Oh, God. Cap for Life couldn't handle the couch. He can't even handle what's going on now. He's losing his crap, getting exposed for being stupid. DQ hot dogs now. That's stupid. That's even dumber than hating Chris Greer. Johnny Rodden says, you lost a subscriber over you assuming I never said anything about not liking Greer. Oh, here, Johnny, let me help you out, bro. Here, now you got blocked. Now you won't even be able to join. Block Johnny Rotten there. There you go, bro. Don't. You think you can threaten me, dude? Like, oh my God, I lost him. Oh, some coward named Johnny Rotten. He can't even put his real name. I mean, give me a break, dude. Get lost, bro. You think I'm going to lose any sleep on that? By the way, in order for him to send that comment, he had to be a subscriber. Now he's no longer a subscriber. I made you a non-subscriber, sir. How do you like them apples? There you go. I didn't lose a subscriber. I kicked a subscriber out the door. You can't put a comment in if you're not a subscriber, sir. That's kind of the thing we have on the chat board. You know what I'm saying? So, rotten for you, but I just kicked you out, Johnny. Oh, you're going to lose a subscriber. No, I'm going to kick a subscriber out. That's what I'm going to do. Love it. Love it. Yeah. You're going to intimidate me. You're going to threaten me. And I'm actually going to be worried about it. Yeah. I'm a little too old for that, dude. Little too old for that, my man. Oh. Did you see Marcus Mariota yesterday? 18-18 Browns and Eagles. Mariota was 9 of 17, 86 yards and an interception. And then, he's interviewed after, and this is like the story of his life. This is why in the quarterback show, he's the one I can't take serious. I mean, God bless his wife, but him, I just can't take that guy serious. And he's out there, I was, let me read the quote for you. Okay. I was sloppy. I can do a better job of getting our guys operating cleaner and more efficiently. No, you can't, bro. No, you can't. Stop lying, please. Was his nose growing at that moment? Did anybody get the video on that with Mariota? Oh. I mean, the other kid, what was his name? Tanner McKee. Yeah, take Tanner McKee. That'll be your backup. I mean, let me tell you something. You talk about Mike White being your backup, and not that I'm the biggest Mike White believer, to be quite honest with you, but I'll take Mike White over Mariota every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Mariota looks like a really nice guy, but he just does not have it, bro. Never has. I've never been a fan of his coming out of Oregon. I just never thought his accuracy was what, that was there. I just don't. The only thing that Mariota can do well is run. Outside of that, he can't do, as a quarterback, as a passer, he is so mediocre. The Dorian Thompson-Robinson kid from Cleveland, I'll take him over Mariota every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And when Sirianni's starting to, talk about Mariota, well, we got to find what he does well and this and that. Oh, brother, he's just another running back on your team, if anything. I mean, Mariota, dude, what a disaster. What a freaking disaster that guy is. Holy shit. Let's give you a little music history today on August 18th. Let's start off in 1969 on this date. Crosby, Stills, and Nash played at Woodstock at 3 a.m., with newly added member Neil Young. It marked their second public gig together in front of 500,000 people. That is awesome. In 62, Ringo Starr made his debut with the Beatles on this date. In August 18th, 1977, the Police made their live debut as a three-piece band in Birmingham, England. In 69, on this date, Mick Jagger was accidentally shot in the hand while filming the movie Ned Kelly. In 92, on this date, Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love became parents of their first child, Frances Bean. In 73, on this date, Jethro Tull's A Passion Play was the #1 album in the country. In 86, Bon Jovi released Slippery When Wet. The album eventually went 12 times platinum. In 95, during the last night of the Lollapalooza tour in Mountain View, California, security guards had to carry a crying Courtney Love off stage after she began fighting with Hole fans, accusing them of not cheering loudly enough. That is one crazy ass hoe. Anyway, that is what happened in music history. All right. Little birthdays today. Let's see. August 18th, celebrating a birthday. Andy Samberg is 45 years old. And I still don't find that show of his with the cops, and it lasted a couple of seasons. I don't know how anybody found that funny, to be quite honest. Patrick Swayze was born in this date in 52. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2009. The weirdest shit, right? Dude's in impeccable shape, and he dies at such a young age. Every day is a blessing, ladies and gentlemen. Every single freaking day you open your eyes. Enjoy it. Edward Norton, the actor, is 54. Christian Slater, actor, 54. Frances Bean Cobain, we just spoke about her. She is 31 years old. Let's see who else. Roberto Clemente was born on this date in 1934. The great baseball player and Pittsburgh Pirate passed away at the age of, I'm sorry, not the age, in 1972. Let's see who else is celebrating a birthday. Robert Redford, the man that pretty much owned every woman back in the day. He is 87 years old. When I was a kid, I think every woman wanted to sleep with Robert Redford, pretty much. I know my mother did. That's for damn sure. No doubt about it. Your mom too, right? She didn't tell you, huh? You didn't even notice when she was looking at the TV when Robert Redford was on? No? You sure? Yeah, once in a while he'd show up, do something, some kind of show or something. By the way, if you are a Carlos Santana fan, Sony Pictures and Trafalgar are releasing an announced special theatric premiere for Carlos, a full-length documentary film about the legendary guitarist and global icon Carlos Santana, directed by Emmy Award-winning filmmaker Rudy Valdez, celebrating the life of one of music's great icons, the 10-time Grammy-winning global sensation Santana. This special documentary will launch in theaters with a 3-day premiere event, Carlos, the Santana Journey, global premiere on Saturday, September 23rd, Sunday, September 24th, and Wednesday, September 27th only. Screenings include Carlos documentary plus exclusive introductory content featuring Santana and 2-time Emmy Award-winning director Valdez. Following the Carlos, the Santana Journey global premiere screenings, Carlos general theatrical releases begin September 29th. Premiering earlier this year at the Tribeca Film Festival, Carlos combines new interviews with Santana and his family, extraordinary, never-before-seen archival footage, including home videos recorded by Santana himself, concert footage, behind-the-scene moments, interviews with music industry luminaries and collaborators such as Clive Davis, Rob Thomas, and more. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a huge Santana guy. I definitely want to see that. That is one of the most special musicians in the history of music. I mean, it's not even close. That guy has had so many hits with so many different voices. Just people don't do that in this business. They don't. They have one singer normally in their band the entire time. And this is a guy that's just like, I'll pick you. Yes, you, Michelle Branch, you. And then you, Rob Thomas. I mean, it's just stupid, bro. It's ridiculous the things that he has been able to accomplish. Really is, man. It's impressive. My mother didn't know Robert Redford from Adam, but she would die for Julio Iglesias. Okay, well, I get it. I get it. Marino never had a defense this low. Oh, no, not even close. Please. He never even had a running game. He once in a while he would have something serviceable. Troy Stratford, what's it called? Davenport and Company. I don't know. Higgy one year was all right. But they never really had a force of a running game. And in those days, you really needed a bell cow. That was part of the game in those days. Not anymore, but in those days, you needed a bell cow. We never got that bell cow. I mean, hey, dude, Shula tried. He tried with Sammy Smith. He tried with Slorenzo Hampton. He tried with God, what's the name of the guy that died? Overstreet. He tried. He tried to get it back, and he just could never find that guy. And a lot of us thought that Sammy Smith was going to be that guy because we saw him tear up the University of Miami that year. And the UM defense was an NFL defense. And we figured, okay, if Sammy can, run against UM, he's going to be a hell of a back in the NFL. And he was a drug kingpin is what he was. Yes, sir.
You left off one celebrity birthday.
Oh, I did? What?
Yeah, Alexis Valenzuela and our...
Oh, Alexis, happy birthday. I am sorry. Says, so I share with Swayze and Norton. Yeah. Happy birthday, Alexis. All right. Good for you. You now can drink, right? You're probably like 21 now. UPS guy Parmalee might have been the best right now. Oh, God. They tried. He just could never get it done, bro. Sucks. Yeah, Shoes is one of those dudes that you love, man. You love what he brought to the table. And unfortunately, he just some of those decisions down the stretch weren't good. They were not good. Big O, have you ever attended a concert at the Bowl in Santa Barbara? Are you talking about the Hollywood Bowl? I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl, if that's what you're talking about. Is that the one you're talking about? No, I have not. That's one place. I've been to the Greek Theater, the LA Forum, the Troubadour, the Rainbow, the Roxy. US where USC plays. I've been there. I haven't been to the Rose Bowl for a concert. So I need the Rose Bowl. I need the Hollywood Bowl. There's a couple in LA that I haven't been to. They closed down the Viper Room, so I'll never be able to see a concert in the Viper Room. Did you know the Viper Room is the bar that they show in Valley Girl? And it wasn't called the Viper Room then. That was before Johnny Depp bought it and made it the Viper Room and made it a famous club. But it was something else back when they used it in Valley Girl. So, yeah. Chris Greer is the best NFL GM. Name me another GM that has his track record. Don't worry, I'll wait. I don't know about best, but I will say this. He's done one hell of a job here, dude. Okay? One hell of a job. And complaining about him is so freaking ignorant, it's not even funny. Again, you're dumb or you're racist. One of the two. My mom was all about Engelbert Humperdinck. She loved those, what's it called? The pork chops, right? Engelbert Humperdinck had those big-ass pork chops, dude. Man, did you see that Wander Franco story with Tampa Bay? Jesus, brother. Allegations with a minor and all that, and they've taken him off the roster at the moment. They're investigating it in the Dominican Republic. It's crazy, dude. Yeah, the parents knew about it. Yeah. Wow. I'm telling you. Hey, we love talking about an MVP of the night, and I was thinking about this watching the Messi press conference yesterday. I thought we got to give an honor to someone who deserves the Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
All right. So let's get into it, man. This is interesting, and it's different because normally I would pick a player. Normally I'm picking a coach, something like that to be my MVP of the night. But I got to give the Moss brothers my Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night. Those guys have been through hell and back. Okay. Look, I was a part of that organization for the first couple of years. I saw it firsthand. Dysfunctional as hell. Okay. I'm telling you, I saw it firsthand. Dysfunctional. It just wasn't right. The only thing that was always right was the passion and the commitment from the Moss brothers. Some of the decisions didn't work out. That's fine. You make mistakes, you move on, you learn, you live. You as long as you learn from those mistakes, we're all going to make them, right? There's no such thing. I mean, listen, very few of us pick up a new business and we do all the right moves. Some of you will do that. There's a couple of you, but most of us, you get a new business, you're going to make mistakes. Hey, Sean and I, are we still not learning this whole thing? Right? Do you and I not make a bunch of mistakes all the time? So, you know what I mean? So I can deal with that. You know what I mean? I can accept it. And then I got to learn from it, try to adjust it, and then make it better, right? And that's what they've done. And they made their mistakes with their 5 DPs. And obviously the general manager that they picked initially was just not the right guy. And they made just bad decisions. And then finally, it looks like they got themselves the right GM. And now they started to make the right moves. And now they're making the big time moves. And you got to give the Moss brothers, Jorge Moss or the Moss brothers, however you want to look at it, just an incredible amount of credit because they built a stadium for fun in Fort Lauderdale while they build the one in Miami. Nobody does that. And after making all those mistakes, I remember when Ken Horowitz made mistakes early on, he went right into a shell with the Fusion. You look at the Marlins, they can only do so much. They have their limitations. After that, they couldn't spend. They needed to spend in this deadline, and they had to kind of go in the cheap to try to improve. They did, but they didn't really go to the extremes that they really needed, considering what they're competing against. These guys don't ever back down from anything, dude. And when they want to do something, they go first class with it. Okay, so I got to give my Cutter's Edge MVP of the night to the Moss brothers. Because watching that Messi press conference, it took them a couple years, but they're starting to figure this thing out. And they're making it pretty damn special in this town. So, Moss brothers, you have our Cutter's Edge MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com, providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
Emphasis multiple times to press the press to watch Sound of Freedom, but as usual from media, don't expect to do journalism these days. Chael, the problem is it's sports, dude. Okay? Now, while I cross those lines on this show, most people in sports won't talk about this kind of stuff, or they're afraid to say something about a Democrat or a Republican. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. You know, you gotta understand that. And so, what can I tell you? We've talked about Sounds of Freedom here. I have not seen the movie yet. I really want to watch it. I want to go check it out because I've only heard great things about Sounds of Freedom, but they're not going to get into it because that's not news. I mean, that's news, not sports. And they're there to fill their notebook up with sports stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why you're not going to get it, Chael. So you got to be a little bit more realistic and understand where you're at. You're in a sports press conference, but it was good. What you have to do is say, great of Tua, to promote it and talk about it and get awareness about the movie out there. That's the important part. That's what you got. That's where you got to credit Tua. That Tua wasn't, while Tua may be a guy that doesn't really go into the controversy stuff much, that was pretty cool of him to mention Sound of Freedom. Sounds of Freedom, right? Or Sound of Freedom. Or Sound of Freedom. Yeah, I think it's Sound of Freedom. So that was actually very cool of him. So I give him props for that. Okay, but the setting you're in is not for that. They don't care about that. It doesn't help them. Doesn't help their editors asking for a sports story. That's not a sports story. So you would need a news person to then pull them aside and then do a feature all on that. Hey, what'd you think of it when you watched this, that? That kind of stuff. My grandmother would gush, I guess is what you mean, over El Puma, Jose Luis Rodriguez. Yes, that was another popular guy for the older ladies. Yes, Brandon Bean has done an embarrassingly bad job drafting for the Bills last 4 years. Team is getting old, and they have no young guys ready to step in. Well, you know what? They laugh at me when I say that Miami will win the division, but we'll see. Jesse says, hello, my buddy Big O. I'm glad he was walking with no pain in the locker room. The old lineman, that's good news. If I were Mike McDaniel, I'd let him out of the preseason. I don't let him play. Exactly. That's what I said yesterday. If you go check our piece, we talked about the injury, and then we talked about all that stuff with Armstead, that it was great news, but there was no reason to play him, Big O, Major League Baseball missed out on the Moss brothers, or maybe Major League Baseball didn't want the Marlins to be used to be the Yankee South. No, baseball is just a sport that's poorly run, and they, look, they brought in Loria, who didn't have enough money to buy the Marlins, and they loaned him $39 million. And then the whole Jeter thing, it was just because it's Jeter, and they didn't go with the better owner. And that's the difference between the NFL and Major League Baseball. They don't care about your name. They don't care about anything. Do you have the money? Can you play with us? Can you step into this room with us? Do you have the money to compete against this guy and that guy and that guy? Because that guy can put $100 million in escrow and laugh about it. Can you do that? Oh, you can't? Oh, sorry, you can't be part of our club. And that's where the Jeffrey Lorias of the world and the Derek Jeters of the world would never be able to buy an NFL team. They wouldn't be allowed. But only Major League Baseball does this. They're the only ones that constantly allow owners that are not capable of actually really running a baseball team or a professional team. Because if you have a professional, does Vinny Viola ever struggle for any money? Ever. Ever. Do you ever hear him crying poor? No. No. Not at all. The guy just moves forward, bro. He purchases his player. Oh, you need a $10 million goalie? Let's go. Bring him up. Oh, you're Kachuk? Yeah. Bring him in. We'll give him the contract. We'll take care of him. Let's go. Oh, that's the coach you want? Let's go. Oh, we need to get a new practice rink. Let's do it. Let's go. Oh, we got to build something over at War Memorial. Yeah, let's do it. Let's build something more so hockey becomes a bigger imprint in our town. Look at what the Moss brothers are doing. You know what I mean? And that's baseball. And I got to tell you something. I'm glad that they screwed up. I really am. Because I'm almost at a point in my life now where I'd rather have a great MLS team over a great Major League Baseball team. Sorry. So, eventually maybe we'll get a good baseball owner or whatever. But I'm glad he bought the soccer team. And I've been wanting soccer to be successful in this town and become big. And it's the future anyways. Kids are gravitating more to soccer than anything else outside of football and basketball. Okay? Soccer's 3. Over hockey, over baseball, young people like soccer way more than they like baseball and hockey. Baseball and hockey combined for young people doesn't even equal soccer. That's just the way it is nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the future. And I'm glad. And the experience of having Messi here for the next couple of years, I don't think there's anything in baseball that can top that right now. Because baseball doesn't capture enough of people's imagination anymore. It's just the way it's an old person's game. It's a game that I watch and people older than me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of those things that it is what it is. What are you going to do? It sucks, but that's life, man. Let's see. Oh, if the Moss brothers were the owners for the Marlins, you think Ohtani would be a Marlin at the deadline? Well, no, they didn't want to trade him. So I don't think so. But, at this point, it's useless to talk about, bro. Those hypotheticals are a waste of time. Sound of Freedom is broadly criticized by people who work against human trafficking. Most human rights groups have derided the film as it misrepresents and sensationalizes the horrors. Well, who's telling the truth? That's the question. It's time for soccer to have its own major success in the United States. I agree. And again, kids, they like soccer more than they like baseball and hockey combined. Okay? They'll be playing FIFA soccer over hockey and baseball 30 times over. Okay? Those are the facts. Young people love soccer. So, Big O, you touched on the Chris Greer subject earlier. The thing is, they also bring up 0 playoff wins, which I don't think it's his fault. He's only in a few years in, bro. I mean, you know what I mean? Now he's the one that got the quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to get in, So this is just the beginning of it. Again, complaining about Chris Greer is asinine. That's all I got to say. It's hateful. It's ignorant. One of the two. Okay? There's no other way to put it. You're either uneducated or you've got some kind of bias in you. Sorry. It's the only way I look at it. Nothing else. Xavier Howard being accused of sharing sexually explicit material. Any substance to the story or nothing, Burger? I have no idea. What story is that? I haven't even seen that. Xavier Howard being accused of sharing explicit. Okay. I have no idea what is it. Read it for me. Sorry, you're right. It's unless, but I think he could be a Marlin this offseason if the Moss brothers were in charge. Oh, in the offseason, yeah. Yeah, if they lose him outright, yes. On the trade thing, I don't think so. But yeah, no, there's no doubt. The Moss brothers would have done some shit there, boy. Yeah. If they brought Messi here, what's Ohtani? Let's just put it that way. Okay? If you brought the biggest athlete in the world here, what's Ohtani? What's any baseball player, any football player, any basketball player? It's nothing. It's a nothing burger, as somebody just used now. Any star in America, any sports star in America, you're a nothing burger next to Lionel Messi. Okay? So, yeah, you're right. Ohtani, because if the Moss brothers can bring Messi, they can bring 5 Ohtanis. Yes, sir.
All right. This was this morning. It said Miami Dolphins star cornerback.
No, wait. ML Football or Slater?
It's from ML Football via at Andy Slater.
I trust Slater. I don't trust ML Football. So what's the deal? So is ML Football now? Is Slater confirming the story?
No, it's Slater's story. He just took it from Slater and gave him the credit.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, it's Slater's scoop. Miami Dolphins Xavier Howard is being accused of making secret sex videos and then sharing them. A lawsuit shows. Additionally, one woman
sharing them where?
Just sharing them. Doesn't say where.
Wow.
Additionally, one woman got into his community this year and smashed his Bentley with a baseball bat. She was later arrested. And there's video from the, I guess, ring or whatever he's got there.
Okay.
And then underneath it, he shared Howard's attorney, Brad Son, tells me this lawsuit is a dead loser, period. Full stop. We'll be seeking dismissal on legal several deficiencies on Monday. But in terms of the substance of the case, there is just no merit to it.
Bro, there's always something with that guy. There's always something with that guy. And you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. There can't be this much smoke and no fire. Okay? You might be getting off on loopholes and you might have more money and better legal representation than others, but there's always something with that guy, dude. By the way, who's been saying there's always something with that guy for a couple of years now? Okay. Who said to trade him right after 10 interceptions so you can get a boatload? Okay. That's who I am. I stick to my guns. I might end up being wrong, but I might end up being right. Okay? I know he's a hell of a player. I know that. But all this shit, dude, constantly. Jesus Christ, brother. You might have gotten away with some stuff or something, but yeah. So the ML Football thing, those people I don't. They just do crap out there. Slater, I trust. Slater's got the hookup.
He
with the
gave
cops.
Slater the credit. That was the only reason I went with.
Okay, good. As long as that is that, then I give it because Slater's got the hookup with the cops. There's no doubt about that. Big O, which undrafted player do you think will be on the 53-man roster this year? Peely. Isn't Peely an undrafted guy? Yeah, Peely. There you go. It's super easy. Peely will be there. And Cotton will be there too, by the way. Cotton's going to make the team. Guaranteed Cotton's going to make the team. So that's another undrafted guy for you that's going to make it. That's 2 guys. You ask for 1, I give you 2. 2. Let's see. Big O, as you only know, Sean Stanley can stand up to Messi as a star. That is true. That is true. We did bring aboard on this platform the biggest star in town in Sean Stanley. Messi's number 2. That's true. I mean, when you're right, you're right.
Sean is a Messi.
It's like a woman could call right now from your office and say you hit her and you would be arrested if you didn't even touch her. Could, maybe. If they have proof. They got to have some proof, right? So, I don't know. All I know is, dude, this guy's constantly involved in some kind of shit. So, who are you associating with? You know what I'm saying? Hell of a player, but please, I'm not making excuses for the behavior, the constant behavior that we're seeing from the guy. All right, we are out of here, folks. We thank the great people out here at KSDT CPAs. We thank the great Sean Stanley. Yeah, baby. Always getting it done. He is a stud. We will see all of you tomorrow, 11 a.m. live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll be there this Saturday, and then we'll be back next Friday over at Craig Zinn. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow, you happen to be in the Pembroke Pines area, come on by and say hi. Oh, the other thing is we will have a new channel, okay, because we are not going to be able to do the live show. Maybe we might. Oh, you might find a hook. Anyway, we might have. Well, hopefully by Monday there'll be a new channel that we are going to have just for the live show. Okay, we will put it out so you guys can follow it because we may not be able to do it on cuts. So, but everything else will be on this channel. Everything, all the interviews, rants, breaking news, Dolphins pre and post game show, all of it is on this. Everything else is on this channel normally, but this live show, we're going to be moving it off of this channel. And so we'll tell you about it, but we're working on it. So we'll work on it over the weekend. We will see all of you on Saturday, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. or on Monday. You all be good out there and be safe.